Hey guys! So today I'm going to be making a video about a question that I get all of the time. And that question is, are you raising your kids vegan? Are your kids vegan? Are you going to make your kids turn vegan? So this is a question that I get all the time. Here on YouTube, I get this question on Instagram, I get this question in real life, in person, just in the world. And I feel like every time that I get this question, I have to go into full detail because I don't want to simply say yes or no. I want to give a full, in-depth explanation. So I'm just going to make this video so whenever somebody asks me, I'm just going to refer them to this video. Or, I mean, if I'm feeling chatty, I'll give you the full rundown. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and make this video to answer the question that is asked so often. So, do I raise my kids vegan? Am I raising my kids vegan now? So I'll start off by saying I have been vegan now for maybe a little over 3.5 months. So before I went vegan, my family and I, we would eat healthy. I mean, as healthy as we could while still eating meat and animal products and all that stuff. So once I became vegan, things changed around here. I'm the one who does the grocery shopping. I'm the one who does the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So basically, whenever anybody would want to eat anything, and to this day, if someone wants to eat here, they're going to have to eat vegan food. And if I'm making dinner and you want to eat, you're going to eat some vegan food. So as far as my kids go, even my husband, they all eat vegan food at home. Now, my 2-year-old, she, even before I went vegan, I would barely give her meat. So once I transitioned to veganism, I decided to just cut out all meat from her, from her diet. Even on occasion, none of that. So I just completely cut out meat from her diet. So I would still let her have, from time to time, some mac and cheese or whatever, whenever my son would be having mac and cheese or something like that, but I wouldn't let her have meat. So, my 7-year-old, who has a mind of his own, and he's like 7 going on 30. I basically just talked to him and I explained why I was doing this and what I was going to eat from now on and how the food was going to change at home. And he accepted it, but he also said to me, Mom, I basically respect what you're doing, but I'm 7 years old and I feel like I should be able to choose what I eat. And I respect that so much from him because he's only 7 and he thinks about things in a different way that I've ever seen a 7-year-old think. So he thinks to himself, and he told me, I still think I want to eat meat and I still want to have cheese and all that. And I'm like, okay, well, it's your decision. I would prefer if you didn't, but it is your decision. So at home, you have to eat vegan food. If we're out or something and you decide you want to eat something else, you can. But that being said, I still kept just talking to him, and I would watch documentaries and I would show him videos. And just about a week and a half ago, I kind of just sat there. We were sitting on the sofa and he sits next to me, and I put on the documentary Veggie, which I had already seen, so I knew it wasn't really graphic for him to see. So I put on Veggie. I'm lowering my voice because I don't want him to hear or know that it was a plot. But I put on Veggie, and what I did was I just let him sit next to me. He just sat next to me, he cuddled with me, and we watched the entire thing. After we watched the entire thing, he sits up and he looks at me and he says, Mom, you know what? I think I don't want to eat meat anymore. I'm not going to eat meat anymore. And I was just so proud, but I was kind of trying to contain it. So I wanted to let him finish. He's like, I'm not going to eat meat anymore, but I still want to have cheese sometimes or ice cream or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? That's okay. That's okay. And I told him how happy I was and how proud I am, or how proud I was. So that was a week and a half ago. He still hasn't eaten any meat since he said that. Do I think it's going to go on? I'm not exactly sure. I really hope it does. But again, that was his decision, and I want to keep it that way. So my 2-year-old is vegetarian. My 7-year-old now is vegetarian. Hopefully that sticks. So they do eat vegan at home, so their diet is mostly vegan, but they do have vegetarian things in their diet whenever, like, we go out and they decide to have something, like maybe an ice cream or something, some kind of treat for themselves or whatever they decide. But again, and I know I'm probably going to get tons of hate for this, but like I said, it's been 3.5 months since I turned vegan, so this is not something that I want to force onto them. I feel like veganism is not something that should be forced onto you. It's something that you should want to do, especially when you're a little older. Say you're 7 years old and your parents switch their diet and they want you to switch. I feel like it might be a little unfair in their eyes, because they're like, wait, so all of a sudden because you changed, I have to change this. So I don't want it to be forced, because I feel like if you force your kids to change their diet, or just force them in general for anything, they'll rebel. And the way I think of it is, maybe now I raise them vegetarian, but I keep instilling vegan ways and keep feeding them vegan food and keep showing them documentaries and videos and talking to them. And I'm hopeful that one day, as they get a little older, they will decide to make their own decision and go vegan on their own. Just like my 7-year-old decided to go vegetarian on his own, and hopefully sooner than later. But yeah, so it's not like a straight no answer, and it's not straight yes answer whether I'm raising them vegan or not. I want to raise them as vegans, especially my 7-year-old. I want him to have, you know, a voice of his own, thoughts of his own, you know, think for himself and realize what is going on and why we're doing this, and not feel like it's just being forced on him. I want him to know the reason why, and I want him to feel, you know, in his heart to go vegan. Like, I don't want to say, oh, you're going vegan, that's it, and then he's kind of like, he's gonna block it out. You know what, they're making me go vegan, and just because they're making me go vegan, I don't want to do it, you know. So, and he has that mentality. He's like, he doesn't like to be forced to do things. He's really smart and just, he thinks for himself, and he doesn't want you to be thinking for himself. That's the reason why, as of now, my kids are not vegan, but they are vegetarian. And for those of you who say, oh, but you know, that's still bad. Yeah, it is, but it's a step at a time. Especially for children, it's easier to take it slowly with them, especially if they're starting on a vegan diet later on in life. And either way, it makes a difference. And I'm just really happy and really proud that my 7-year-old made the decision on his own to become vegetarian. So, and again, a lot of us who are vegan now started off as vegetarians. So I feel like, you know, as vegans, there's too much like hypocrisy. Like, too much vegans are like, oh, but vegetarian is bad, don't be vegetarian. But a lot of us started as vegetarians, so, you know, yeah. So, am I raising my kids vegan? Yes. No. Not yet. Hopefully in the future. Yes, maybe, possibly. I would love to. But I want them to have a mind of their own, thoughts of their own, and feel and know, like, in their heart, why it is that I'm vegan, why it is that they should become vegan, and feel in their hearts to become vegan. Most of us just felt it in our heart to become vegan, and that's why we're vegan today, and that's what I want them to feel. Especially, and then my 2-year-old, I want her to get maybe a little older. When I keep talking to her, once I start talking to her, maybe she'll realize why it's not good to still eat cheese and, you know, and ice cream and all that stuff. And then it'll be easier for her to transition. And she already loves like the vegan cheese and all that stuff, but again, like when we go out and stuff, it's a little harder since she's already used to a certain thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think down below. Keep it civil, please. Again, keep in mind that everyone, or a lot of us vegans, started off as vegetarian. And yeah, I mean, they're kids, you know, you gotta just take it easy, step at a time. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a big old thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. All my links to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat are all down below. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. I want to show you guys my little vegetarian. She's sleeping.